the athletes to the field of play for the compound under-21 women team bronze medal match.
Time now for action in the under-21s. And out come the women for the bronze teams match for you here on day 2 of our coverage. USA versus France.
On target number 1, representing the United States of America, Carson Cray. McKenna Proctor. Sydney Sullenberger. On target number 2, representing France, Candice Cadronet. Alicia Chambrol. Léa Giraud. The line judge for this match is Nanaka Matsuyama.
So here we go, the USA qualifying in 4th place, beating Great Britain in the quarterfinal by 8 points, losing to India by 2 in the semis, and France beating Italy in the quarterfinals, losing to Mexico in the semi-finals. A couple of these French archers have already started to make a bit of a splash in these seniors. Chambro we saw in Nîmes earlier on in the year. Cadrenet and Léa Giraud is going to go first for France, the 17-year-old. Already a silver and gold medalist on the European youth circuit. Cadrenet already had some success in the Indoor World Series as well, winning gold and silver already in her career. Chambro to end here. She was the top qualifier for the individuals, finishing in 7th place, the left-hander. This weather really starting to close in. Mike Schloss is still with us, of course. The number 1 compound archer in the world. Carson Cray to start off for the Americans. Looks like that's grabbed the 10 line.
In both countries, and like in the USA and France, archery is a really big sport. They have a lot of members.
That's Proctor's first arrow. Now Sullenberger. She was in the mixed teams with Sawyer Sullivan. They lost in the quarterfinals. 19 years old. So she's got an 8 there after the first rotation. So the Americans, good little lead for them here. 3 points early in the match. All 3 of the French archers at their first World Youth Championships. And all of the Americans at their second. So experience on their sides, on the American side perhaps. First 10 of the match for France comes from Candice Cadrenet. Now Chambro to end the first end for France. So a little bit of a mixed bag as the French team lock in 50 from a maximum 60. A chance here for the Americans to build a nice little buffer early. Proctor here was a bronze medalist in the women's teams back in 2021. Back to have another crack here for her country. Almost a 10 there from Proctor, but not quite. Sydney Sullenberger gets set for her last arrow of the first end as the rain really comes in here for the Archers. That is a very nice arrow from Sullenberger, and that's going to give the Americans a good little lead, potentially 54 points for them in the first end. 54 to 50 is the provisional score at the moment. Little Giroux looking like she'd rather be inside, Mike.
That's for sure. Like in these kind of conditions, it's cold. The wind makes it really, really cold. But nothing beats shooting a final. So I think that she would rather be shooting the final there than being inside, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, still a great arrow there from Sydney Sullenberger. 2 10s to the Americans in that first end. Just the one to France off the bow there of Cadrenet. So scores locked in, 54 to 50. It's a 4-point lead for the United States in this bronze medal match after the first end. Coming up, the gold medal match between India and Mexico. We'll be into the men's. The bronze medal match in that age group will be between India and the USA, and then we'll have Slovenia up against Denmark in the final of the men's under 21s. Now Candice Cadrenet. Oh, she's going well in these very wet and windy conditions. Pretty awful stuff here weather-wise in Limerick now. Rain's as heavy as it's been all day. Yes, she does. It's hard, though, getting the weather out of your head, Mike, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Like these kind of conditions, they tend to go into like, you get cold, you get frustrated, you're shooting arrows that are not landing in the middle. So that's very like mentally difficult situation.
Well, you've got to put it behind, out of your head somehow. Carson Cray, that's a great arrow from her. McKenna Proctor, the oldest of the Americans, she's 20. Yeah, she was battling there to get settled. That was a tough set of circumstances there for Proctor. Sullenberger. Looking comfortable on the shooting line there. So it's an extended lead here for the Americans. Remember, they led by 4 after the first end. They've extended it to 6 after the first rotation of end number 2. On the scoreboard now, France are an arrow behind, and it's not going to be easy to catch up. that's a great arrow there from Chambro. Boy, France needed it.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, Cray is going good, isn't she? That's back-to-back tens now for her in this end. Oh, she's got 3 tens, in fact, now has Carson Cray. Kenna follows it up. Kenna Proctor with a 9. So the Americans looking very comfortable in this competition halfway through. They have a big lead over the French team. Looks like it's going to be 10 points.
The Americans look like they're not phased by the conditions at all. They had like a game plan, keep working on it, just making good shots, executing them well, looking very solid.
Sure are. 10-point lead, 108 to 98 at the moment. One arrow is starred, though, in that second end. It's the second one, which was from Proctor. It's been starred as a 7. But it's the Americans in a very, very good lead now. Full 10 points clear. You don't often see that in teams compound archery. But the weather really is challenging. Earlier it was just the wind, but now it's the wind and the rain. Forecast over the next couple of days is looking a little better. With 3 days of coverage to come, it's looking like Saturday, day 4 of our coverage, looking the best. Might even get some sunshine that day, Mike.
I hope so. At least for them.
Absolutely. So here's France now with a mountain or 2 to climb now to try and claw their way back into this bronze medal match. As Leah Giraud goes first. Was that a miss? Cadrenet. Time keeps ticking. Well, Chambro puts the disappointment of her teammate missing. And there's some nice tap on the back there for Giraud. She won't be happy with that.
It seems like
the
that
Americans
her arrow was maybe broken or something like that, or like a vein came off.
Yeah, unlucky 8. Really is in America's total control now, this match. Kenna Proctor gets her first 10 of the contest. She had 4 9s before that. Now Sullenberger. France will just want to try and put that behind Leah Giraud. Clearly unhappy with that miss. Well, that's a great comeback from her. Well, that's 3-10s on the trot to the French team now. See if Chambreau can make a 4. She can. Lovely stuff. Well, it's frustrating, isn't it, Mike? Because you can have some struggles, but then you can do something like that. It shows it can be done. Well, Cray, after the mishap with the 8 in the last arrow, comes back strong again. 4th 10 from 6 arrows for her. It's very impressive in these conditions.
9-10 liner.
Sydney Sullenberger. She's a little astray there, but it's not going to have any impact on this big lead, really, that the Americans have. It's still 14 points. Could even be 15 with that 10 or 9 in that second to last arrow by Proctor.
US fans, let's hear it for your team. Now let's hear the Helena Bleu.
Well, 3 10s for Cadrenet. 2 for Chambreau. In fact, 3 for her too. And keeping the hands warm and dry, very important, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you have wet hands or cold hands, you sometimes lose your feeling, and that's very important to make good and strong shots, because if you don't have the feeling, like sometimes your timing goes off, and timing is everything in this sport.
Scores confirmed going into the final end. The
So 162 to 147. It's all locked in.
over 147 for France.
So 15-point margin. So the Americans just have to close it out. And the bronze medal in the under-21s will be theirs. So that was the earlier miss. Could you see what happened there on that replay, Mike? Why it missed?
It looked like a beautiful shot, so I don't like. My guess is probably a loose vein, like a vein coming off loose. Like you see, also like she was like explaining, like the arrow flew really weird, so it's probably like a loose vein.
That's unlucky. So Giroux starting the last end. With an 8. So things haven't gone to plan for France in this match. Solid scoring from Alicia Chambreau again. Carson Cray for the United States. And this is all the Americans need. Just good solid scoring from Cray, Proctor and Sullenberger. Brilliant arrow there from Sydney Sullenberger. It was right in the heart of the 10 zone. Brilliant stuff from her. Her second 10 of the match. Renette has been very solid in this match.
9.
Yeah, she's been shooting well. Like, it looks also solid. So even though it's windy, she makes strong shots, keeps working on it, trusting her shot execution.
Last arrow of the match for France from Chambreau, and it's a beauty. Right in the heart of the 10 zone again. So a pretty decent effort there from France to end with a score of 200. They would have wanted a lot more than that because the USA are just 10 behind with 3 arrows to come. Oh, Spider. Goodbye to the Spider from Cray. Cray has been brilliant. 5 10s for her from 8 arrows is a very good effort. And there it is. That is the arrow that secures the bronze medal for the United States. Sydney Sullenberger to end in style with a 10. It's bronze to the United States. With a good score too, the best of the day so far in these very windy and wet conditions. 219, that eclipses anything that we saw in the under 18 age category from both the men and the women. So well done to the United States women's team here. Carson Cray, McKenna Proctor, Sydney Sullenberger, bronze. The comfortable 19-point win over France in the compound under 21 women's teams event. Well, I guess to take the big takeaway from that, from me, Mike, I don't know about you, is that the individuals coming up in this age category, these Americans could be 3 to watch.
Yeah, for sure. They were shooting very well. Looked like they were not phased at all by the wind or the rain. So it's going to be cool to see them later on.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing them back in action soon in that individual competition coming up in a couple of days. And those French archers too, we wish them well in that competition too.